comma, then to L. There's also a letter that Finnish say L. So the ekenslag, the law of the oak.
Yeah, this is the logic. The law.
Logic. Law.
The log. Like a tree has a log.
A log.
A ship's log. The logos. The logic of everything. So it's taking the concept of logic, and wherever you attach this L is meaning the logic of this said thing. So you can, and there's a lot of, there's BL, CL, GL, FL. Anyway, there's KL. You know, there's you can end words with L. You can start words with L. You can connect sounds with L. It's almost like a vowel in of itself, almost, but logic. And this one's a huge concept, but move the screen over to L, or move the lines or whatever. We're still on K.
Should be at L.
I still, oh, there we go. I see it now. I don't know if that was my screen or not. Yeah, this one's not really, I mean, it's a part of M.
Yeah.
Really,
but
I think
it's also a law how it moves.
And I don't know if technically, I guess it technically just ends at the K and isn't actually going to the very bottom of the ring.
No, it doesn't touch the ring, bottom of the ring.
Yeah, except where another thing to point out with L is the 90-degree angle.
Yeah.
There are, you know, isn't it like in nature, there's not things that make perfect 90-degree angles very often. Except for maybe a log of a tree, you know, from the ground, you know, something like that.
But then again, law, like nature follows different laws. Like the Fibonacci, it follows 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 5, 3, 5, 8. So it's still a law which is changed. Now I change, and then
yeah. Yeah. And then
law of nature.
Yeah, a lot of the other letters connect to the L, whereas the L is connecting to very few letters itself. Well, actually, that's not true. I mean, it's connecting, it's touching the K and connecting to the K, and it's made of two poles. One's longer, and one's you know, the shorter pole at the bottom of the L. But that one is part of the M, or Monet. So, but yeah, logic, team.
Yeah, that's log. That's also team, like the log, like a league.
Yeah, I think this is part of the like kind of human and nature kind of dual meaning, where that kind of plays in again, this self-evident nature of being able to use the self to describe nature or the nature to describe the self. Either way, it's equal. They're one and the same, but team, or what else? It says, I guess there's a few ways to use that word.
Like in Finnish, there is also laji, which is a species, which then goes close to log as a league or a team. So species is a team of something, some animal, some species.
Sense.
And then also
Yeah.
in root or Swedish, in the end of the words, we use this word like league or league, which is something that's like something.
A league.
No, league, like. Something is like something.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Also, but like that's similar to the English word league, like a sports league or team. But like league, like it would still kind of be the same. Like if you play soccer or something, you're in different leagues.
Yeah.
You know, but league is also a measurement in like 1,000 leagues across the sea or something like that.
Yeah.
But
and that's then again a sort of a law of disease.
right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that sound league. You know, we spell it League. Is that right? I feel like they have threw an extra letter in there, but it's like, yeah, UE. So like it's some of these English words, they're telling you like we made this one confusing just so you don't, you know, like we purposely misspelled the shit out of this word. You know,
Yeah.
you get that all the time. Like in you know, anyway, there's thousands of examples of English words that are just spelled in this like you know, like that's not how it's sounded, right? But league, because there's a few ways to use that word, but it's not very common anymore in modern English, league. But that makes a lot more sense of why of how it is sounded in root or meaning in root, to attach it to the end of a word that you're saying. So yeah, cool.
But also I'm meaning this like, for example, roligt, that's fun. Roligt is fun, but ro is peace. So roligt is something that is like peace. So something that is like peace, that's fun. So then it's this league, which is like something. So like fun is like peace.
I agree. I agree.
And that's in the word roligt, which is fun.
Leaked. L-I-G-T. That.
Yeah. Or league.
Yeah. Yeah. Standing alone, the L as so even in that use, you're using it as a way to show the logic of a different concept, right? Like you're attaching it to something, but as a standalone concept, it goes it's interesting, right? Because you got you said league. What about liga? Right, to be laying down.
Liga, yeah.
Liga, right? And so, but then you also have liga, which is like gang or league, right?
That's the league.
But then you also have ligament, like the parts of the body that is connecting everything, right? And then linguistics, right? So now we're putting the N in there, and now you got linga, like and things like that. So the L has to do with the logic and the law of like constructing everything.
Yeah.
You know, so whether it's our words in linga, or whether it's people in liga, or I don't know what to say about liga, but it's liga. But you know, that's laying down, right? And that's making the differentiation of being upright or laying down, the L.
Yeah.
Right?
But ligga in very base form, like you lay down, that's la. Ja la mig ner. Like you lay and then you ligga. Lay yourself down to ligga.
Fair enough.
And also the basic form, the L. The L is electricity.
Right.
Yeah.
And in many say like religions or whatever, L would be the God.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Israel. You know,
Yeah.
Israel. In Israel or yeah, the L electronic electric.
And that's also then gumman Ella. The akka is Ella.
Yes.
And from Ella, when you split it, you have L. And then you have this God concept.
Here's an interesting one. Well, actually, maybe we could save it for when we go into L or later. Okay. Mental note, because it's a 3-letter. I was just looking at leak.
Leak.
Yeah. So it says like or corpse.
Leak.
Yeah.
Leak is the corpse.
Leak
is also like, yeah, it's something like something.
Yeah. But it's interesting. It's the same sound, and that, but like this idea that it's, you know, this cycle, this logic of going in and out, in and out, in and out, and everything is equal, and you know. Anyway.
Yeah. And one more important point: when you have L and you switch around, you have le, and then you have a smile.
Right. That's actually one of my favorite words as well. Smile.
Yeah.
Or le. Yeah. That's a good one. I like that. Good. Thank you for pointing that one out. Cool.
Cool.
And yeah, that one has a lot. LE.
Yeah.
LE goes deep, so we'll get there someday.
A lot of understanding connected to it. And
yeah, we'll probably get there in a few months, but let's go. Okay.
So then we have M, which Finns say am. So it's amma. Amma is another form of akka. When you have ukko and akka, you have amma and äijä.
Oh.
So you have M also in root, but we use turn around. Me in Finnish becomes me is we.
We.
We, like me olemme, we are.
Okay.
Yeah. But M in itself is then the oak's moon, the egens måne, månens egg.
Yes. And really would be more mouth.
Mouth.
Which is represented by the moon.
Moon.
Rather than
but
the
in
moon.
Moon you say almost moon.
Huh?
In Moon you always have this sound, the ursprung sound, moon.
Right.
Yeah.
Moon. Yeah. M's also mountains. Well, let's look at the character, because we got some interesting patterns here. We're looking at the yellow lines coming out of it. One of the going from left to right, we got the V being divided.
Yeah.
The M has 3 V's. So,
yeah.
You know, and the second line straight up would be, well, just up there, I guess. The other ones are dividing. Oh, let me just confirm that our M's are the same at least.
But M is also kind of the opposite of W.
Yeah, it certainly is. So yeah, I have my M. So in my M, let me see, make sure it's in my other drawing too. So I actually have a different M angle than you do, I think.
Okay.
This might be another one that we might need to leave open. Let me just confirm that I need something straight. I don't know where my so my M. It's hard to tell. This pen is not straight. Where did my straight line go? Okay, let's use the book. Sorry, one sec. So my second one is going there, and then so I have my M angles, the one that you have going to the Z and the C. I have both of them pointing to the same place. Where your first one, where it's going to the Z, my second hump on the M is also going to the Z.
Okay.
Instead of the C. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not sure either.
All right. Well, let's leave it open.
Drawing.
Note that down. Maybe that could be a correction in the future. Maybe not.
Let's see.
But it is interesting that mine is going to the same place. So I don't know if that's a mistake or not. But they both are straight up. It would just be, which doesn't make sense. I don't understand why it would be different unless I'm just like not seeing it right.
Maybe you have, because if zoom in here,
it's like a big triangle. Yeah. See. So maybe it's the ending point. Well, no, that doesn't make any sense.
Maybe it's the line in between.
It could have been this one might be more of a mistake on my part or not, or something.
Oh.
I mean,
could be also that it's me who is missing it. You have it step further higher.
I don't know.
Because this part is a little bit tricky because there is a speech that something should be balanced here. And then like which line should be balanced with which line for symmetry.
Yeah. You know, but at the same time, we have to account for the whole thing at the same time. So it's kind of hard. Not sure if there's a symmetry specifically in that letter or it's a, because not all of them are symmetrical, like the K or
I mean symmetry like with the lines, like these lines which are there.
Yeah, I like how it looks right there. I just wouldn't know how to comment on it. Yeah, so all right, we'll just leave it open and we'll skip over that.
Did you have any other with the sounds?
With M?
Yeah.
A lot.
Again, I mean, too much.
Well, not only is it representing the mouth, also as the moon.
Yeah.
But it's a different aspect of the moon than is being represented in the other places in the alphabet. So we went over C and D, sharing the day. So that one is the crescent moon. That's different. That's more representing, like, say if you look in the old Gotland rune stones, you have the crescent moon, the man with the beard, and his head is shaped like the moon because this is the the Ra. But this one is more about the speech and what we do with our mouth, and so you do get the word well, moon, which is like mouth, and then you also there's a lot of M. You know, this is where we get our how do I say it? Let's see. So mone is with the A with the ring above it, which is right next to it, and connecting in this drawing is connecting to the M down there, or the M is connecting to the A. And then you got, so that's mo, you know, mo, and nay, mo, nay. Yeah, moan, which is something you do with your mouth also when you're moaning or groaning. You get let's see. Let me look through here real quick. And this is a large concept, and it's found in a lot. I mean, the moon, like moon is in a lot of sounds. There's only one moon, muno, right? There's only one moon, and so you get the word like mono, like monotheistic religion. Little do they know, they're talking about worshiping the moon, I guess.
Yeah, then there's those who worship me, worship themselves, me.
Yes, and then you also get like measurements, you know, meals, measurements. These are
military.
Yeah, I'm seeing here like must, like you must do something, moste, or molt is like to measure. What else we got here? This one says son-in-law is mog. This is our mythology. Yeah, I got meal. Meditate. Anyway.
And then one word which is also, it's me. Me is the daughter of Ukko, who creates Väinämöinen.
The muse, right? The concept of a muse, like which is a big word in and of itself, just the muse. But to the muse, you have like the muse of singing and language, and you have all these of the arts. You know, of all these different
the ladies.
Yeah, all the ladies, the muses. But this is still to do with the mouth, and basically, I mean, this the concept of the raw. So you got to remember this. Are you able to just skip ahead to a different letter real quick?
If I just jumping around.
Yeah, can you just jump to R real quick? So see how R goes right through M?
Yeah.
Okay, now you can go back to M. I just wanted to see how much it goes through M, because it is the idea of the sun reflecting off the moon where it gets its energy. So it is also in the human mouth is reflecting our own thoughts in our head, which is another concept, another idea of Uden, right?
Yeah, the soul, your soul is speaking.
Yes, so our soul is speaking through our mouth, and our ideas and our words and the sound system and everything like that. So this that's you know, it's a big concept. You know, it's monumental, right? It's right.
But that's you on you mental,
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, or tall men.
Tall men.
Yeah. But yeah, or like the mother's milk. You know, milk is another M word, but it has to do with coming from the mother who gives you the milk, right? From, you know, and mount, you know, from her mountains, from her balcons, you know. I don't
It's
know.
also man and mother.
Yeah, and man usually isn't just referring to male. It's just referring to mankind, right? That's why we say a woman. You know, it's so funny that in America, you know, the big question is, what is a woman? Gotcha. You know, you can't define what a woman is. That's because, you know, whatever. But if you just take the word, it's womb man. Wombed man. Woo man. So it's someone, it's man with a womb. Boom, there you go. Woman defined. And you didn't need to make that 2.5 hour documentary on trying to answer that question. Anyway, sorry.
And then basic ma. Like
yes.
in one, ma means ground, land, earth. And mama is then the mother. Ma.
Yes.
My mother, me.
You know, the moon rules Earth. Right? It controls the earthly
Ra.
yeah. It is the bureaucracy of Earth, whereas the sun creates and everything exists within this idea of Uden, but the moon is the force, is the gravity. It's the yeah. So the M's a big one. There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's a lot. It's all kinds of clouds. What's clouds? What's clouds in root?
All.
So the moon controls the clouds. You know, it controls all the waters. It pulls and pushes the tides. And it's from the moon that we get all of these different things. Whereas when we get to Ra, there's a different aspect of the moon being represented because it's actually more of the sun's influence on the moon that would create, like, say, gravity. Whereas you don't have the M sound in gravity, even though it still has to do with the moon, right? And that's why you have,
because the moon is it's the same with Odin and the sun. The sun is the object itself, and Odin is everything that moves around it. And the moon is its object itself, and the Ra is everything around it, and combined.
You're at a monsoon.
Monsoon.
Right? A moon soon. Yeah. Right? Again, it's saying this is controlled by the moon. Yeah. I don't know if I've already mentioned it with you, but when you pay attention to the moon's cycles, when you're having a full moon or a new moon versus a new moon, the weather conditions change pretty significantly. It can be like more windy, more rainy, more snowy, more something. And there's something to do with the moon, whether it's full or not full, that influences the conditions around us. And
everything
there's something that
your brain, your bread, your
Right, a little tidbit is if you're trying to weed, get the weeds out of your yard, you do it on a new moon because it's drawing the moisture away from the surface, kind of thing. Or if you want to have the most flavorful harvest or crop, is you plant your seeds on a full moon, and it draws the moisture from the earth into the plant a lot more, and so it grows faster. It grows with a different flavor and everything.
But that depends also on what plant we're talking about, because some plants like to be planted on new moon and other like to be planted on full moon.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
The same also with blueberries come in nature. They're best picked just right after full moon, when they like grow to the maximum, and then they release themselves.
Yeah, the arc of the moon matters. So you can say maybe it's the monarch.
Ah, that's the real meaning of the monarch.
Yes, yeah, the monarchy.
But that monarchy is then also you connect it to Ra, and you have the powers of the king and the queen, and then you return to moon, and then you have the stable moon arc.
Right, and just like when we switched to R real quick, the R goes right through it.
Yeah.
So they're related, but not the same exactly. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, I understand that the moon is the object and the Ra is the name of the moon and the powers included in it. But yeah, next step. And then we have the N, which is one N, which is the Nordstjärnan, the North Star, the knowledge. And then also with the N, we have, even if this North Star, we also have the concept of new, which is the new, like the Odema name is Nyland, which is the Yggdrasil's Nordstjärna. And it then has another concept of moon in it at the same time when it's connected to the eye and the North Star.
Knowledge.
Knowledge.
Knowledge. Namaste.
Namaste.
This is your name's day. Your name.
Name, yeah.
Your name's sake. Yes. The knowledge of you. Nostradamus, Nordstradamus. No.
Yeah. But this is also like the North and the North Star, or pointing up.
You can have knowledge of many things. Tour.
And of nothing.
Novel. Yeah. The night. The not.
Not.
The night.
But there's also almost a K in it. Night, night, night. Night and a night. Night, night.
Well, in root, it would be just not.
Not.
N-A-T-T. Not. Good not. Good not.
Good not. Ah, not, yeah. No.
Native.
Native. Natur.
Natur.
Yeah.
The
tour of the Aether's knowledge, or the root of the Aether knowledge, because root on, not good.
Mm-hmm. Here's well, the neck, right?
Neck.
The back of one's head is the nakke. So you still have the nakke. Nakke.
Yeah.
Nakke. The neck. So this is representing the North Star.
Mhm.
That is the true north.
Yeah.
The true north, right? And when we say the true north, north, you know, that's our it's the compass, right? It's where you can be anywhere in the whole world, but if you can find that North Star, you can navigate anywhere. Navigate, right?
But doesn't the compass change if you go south of the equator?
Fair enough. Well, they're lost. And there's not that much land south of the equator.
And the true south is somewhere in the sea.
Yeah. So, north.
You know,
North.
in Finnish, we like to say no niin, and depending on which tone you say no niin, you have different meaning. No niin, no niin, niin, no niin. And then it can go on.
Yeah, and I do love the ny, the new.
New, yeah.
New.
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 But the
Nudist.
new is the new, and the new is the now.
My name, Dustin, is an anagram for nudist.
Nude. But nude is to enjoy. So nude.
Nude. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm looking at all these NY words, but they're very long. I don't like. I don't know. A lot of them don't seem to connect to new very well. I wonder if there's a sound change in many of the new.
And also, root no is when you read something, ja nor. So
yeah, we have nor and then rune.
Rune. Nor.
Backwards. Nor is rune backwards, right? Does that have and that's like RO, like peace. And then also you have runes, which are like the I don't know, like the Kalevala runes.
Yeah, you have rune,
which
and
are
one
holding the knowledge, which are holding the knowledge that's passed down. You know, and that's of the north, normal, the form of the north, right?
Yes. And then you have naughty.
Note?
Naughty. When you are naughty, when you behave bad.
Oh yeah. That's when you haven't had your tea. You haven't had no tea. You're not drinking health tea.
You have no tea.
No tea for you. Noga.
Noga.
Yeah,
Noga.
Precisely, exactly, carefully, closely, careful. Noga.
Noga. Yeah. And then when you have enough of something, you have what nog of it.
Yeah. So in the word knowledge,
Yeah.
did I already talk about it today? I think I already talked about it today. How null means zero.
Yeah.
So it's actually not the ledge, but more edge. But either way, it kind of means the same thing. The ledge, edge, but of this zero, of nothingness, right? And it also comes from a nature where like a knoll, like a grassy knoll. In English, it would be Knoll. Obviously, when we put the K in front of it, just like in the word knowledge, it is knowledge, right? But it's not said with the k sound. So it's just the knowledge, and this idea of being on the edge of zero. It's like Udin, right? It's the same symbol, but it's more of an oval, right? Oval. Is that the same thing in root? Oval?
Oval? Yeah, oval.
Yeah, which is interesting, which is an interesting word, right? Lav, Udin.
Yeah.
Backwards. But and just as we were kind of talking in with Michelle too, we have all of these nature meanings. So going too deep into the words, too many words starts to make a lot of confusion. But we do have like these natural words, like in lav, right? But in uval, right? You're in the domain of Udin here with an uval, which is null, edge. So this is a very old word. It's got to be a very old word. But Nordstarna, right? Is it just Nordstarna?
Nordstarna.
Nordstarna. Okay. Yeah, so it's sharing the Udin, the Uval.
Yeah.
Right?
Because it's also
the knowledge is being
shared
shared of the north.
Yeah.
Something like that. Because it would be the meaning would be backwards. So and that's what stars are, right? The stars are like where we store the stories, the starry night, the restore, right? You can restore, store the stories. And so, it's this whole of all the knowledge is in the stars, and our compass, our true north star or the true north of our knowledge, which is the top of our head, our brains and everything. Same thing, as above, so below. It's the North Star. Boom. That was a good rant. I appreciated that one.
Also, stjärna itself, the star, the stjärna. Now, when you say it's sharing, so it's sharing its knowledge.
Yes, same thing, same difference. Boom. That was awesome. I think we should just leave it at that. I mean, we can take a look over here also at the actual angles of the N. It is kind of funny shaped,
Yeah. What I find interesting is how it cuts the O underneath. Like it's kind of standing at its base. While it's then catching up with the T and the U up and.
Yeah, it also makes the same kind of symbol as the but backwards.
Yeah, here is the phonetic thing which I was wondering about, because we have Oden, and then we have the O, the river, and then we have the middle O. And if you cut Oden, like if you have phonetically in your mouth, you have U, that is a front mouth. And then the O is a back sound. And then the middle sound, when you cut the U and the O, you have the O. So you have the O, and the O.
Yeah, there's something to the sounds where how the sounds are produced and where.
Yeah, the
In the
position
mouth.
of the tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with this, in the sound itself is making these connections between the human body,
Yeah.
not only in the phonetics, but in the knowledge of the stars that we store in our heads as well. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Next step.
So there's new, which is new, and then there's new, which is now, at once, now.
New is new. New
Yes.
is now.
Yeah. That's what I meant to say.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So noodle. All right, let's move on.
Dale is again to share. So have your noodle. So you are now sharing.
In a valley. In a dell.
That's you're going to have your dal with your noodle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's jump to all-loving Odin.
Okay. Odin,
So,
here we are. You drew a line here anyway, huh?
Yeah, I drew a line because I want to have the where it cuts the ring.
I don't think it cuts it there.
Well,
I think it cuts it in between the C and the D.
Maybe it cuts it there also.
No, I mean, well, the whole that its only place it divides it in the center.
Yeah, if you draw the line from the bottom of the P, then it's the center cut into the CD.
Yeah, which is sharing today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it would be more appropriate to show it there.
Yeah, could be. But here it's also cutting the N.
True.
It follows the root of the N also here, but maybe it has 2 cut points then.
Yeah, it connects. I mean, to the G did it through there. The H.
Yeah.
The K.
Yeah. Yeah, it has a lot
like
if we start
P,
to add all the angles.
The R, the P. The Q is basically the same thing with the the S is just an aspect of it. So Odin.
Yeah, because with this line it's also S. It takes the S and to create it.
And in Cliff Barber's drawings, this is north, because Udinma is in the north. So this is, if you're to have your compass, this would be the north at the edge of this ring, and then south would be CD, and so east west would be Oost. Yeah, which would be where the V and the U connect later. So that would be east, and then west would be where the E or H is, or something. I don't know. Whatever. Ooh, here we are. Ooh ee, ooh ee, ooh ee.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, let's Uko. Ooh. Where do we want to go with this?
Ukko is again, it has the ook and the ko. The ok and the ku.
Ufra.
Ofra.
Ofra. No. Off. Ooh. I say it like
yeah.
ooh.
Ofra is with the o, with the cut o.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, that will become the complexity. Like we have the bock and the book. They're both with the o, but they have one is cut.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I'll learn more and more as we go through then.
That's a difficulty with the written language, like when we have offer. So then you have, that's still with the O, but it's with a different sound. Like my name also in root, it's Johan, but when Finnish pronounce it as it's written, it's Johan.
Right.
And then when you pronounce it, it's Johan.
Yeah, but I still at least keep the Johan. I say Johan, I think. Johan.
Yeah,
Johan
but in English.
Yeah. Well, in English, it would just be John.
Yeah, true.
Pretty much.
But then again, there you have the O.
Right. The yolk of an egg.
Yolk.
Ook. Right? Isn't that just ook?
Ook. Yolk of an egg.
Isn't it? Egg yolk. Egg ook.
Äggula. Egg. Yolk.
October. Yeah, okay. So all right, well, how about you get started on this, because I think I'm just going to make it a lot more confusion.
This is very much the sound thing here, which we can just maybe will come back to this with longer words so that we can try to find the difference when it's O and when it's O.
Yeah, this is where I need you to make the distinctions, because all I have is the book. So
yeah. But we can, when we come back to O in the longer way, we can dig deeper.
It seems like a lot of it's also determined kind of like what letters are following.
Yes, precisely.
But okay, I can think of some actually that are definitely O, like ordinance. You know, dominion. You know, like an ordinance is like ordning. When like order.
Yeah.
Ordinance.
Yeah, but there is again the beginning, the ord. The ord is the word.
The word, right? So that's not oo. It's not uden.
It's Oden.
Okay.
But
well, there we go.
The sounds change it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got order.
Yeah.
Ordna. Ordning. And then if that's not confusing enough, then it's oreda. Which is disorder, confusion.
Yeah. Because you have ord, ordning, oreda. So it's a little bit confusing when it's O and when it's O.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Well, at least the concept of Uden we can talk about, which is the ring. Uden is the ring. Uden is everything. Uden has always been. Uden will always be. Uden is the sun. And that basically sums it up. It's all the concepts of the universe. Is the fire, the lightning, and you think of lightning, this is the L.
Yeah. The L.
Right?
Yeah.
Lightning is the energy, the electricity, right? And then fire came from lightning.
That's also eld. Fire is eld. There's also L.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. So, and it's but in Saga, it is fire that was created from lightning.
Yeah, it comes like that.
something like that. So and then so there's 5 aspects. There's fire, lightning, sperm,
Gold.
Huh?
Gold.
Gold. Yes, gold, and what's the last one? You remember the last one?
Blackout.
You're blacking out too? Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, the sun. Duh. I guess I already said it. So the sun, lightning, fire, sperm, and gold. Okay. So anyway, it's all those aspects, all at the same time, and also separate, but also at the same time.
Also, one thing to notice that when it's O den, the den means the, so it's the O, the ring, the circle.
And a den is like a living space.
Yes.
Right. Well, at least in English, you know, but that's interesting.
The den is
and you have and then you have den, Sven and Den.
Yeah. That's a bit different.
Who left the ring?
Yeah.
So he left the ring over there and just got Den.
Yeah.
And then backwards would be Ned. Ooh, Ned. I don't know. Nade mean anything?
Ed is an oath. So it's N-Ed-O. So it's the North Star's oath.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, there's quite a few NED, Ned, Nade, Naden below. So Uden would be above. So Ned is downstairs. Netherlands is below. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Nedre, lower. Cool. I'm finding that almost all of these words flipped, all these meanings flipped also have a meaning, which is pretty cool.
It should have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not so obvious, but sometimes it's very clear.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know what else to do because I'm going to keep messing up on the sound there, and I don't want to make too much confusioning. Ordning. Ordning. Confusioning. Yeah. Disorder.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just
Ooh. Are there any ooh d? Ooh d? Ooh. Let's see. Not really. Udlad, undivided, unqualified, undivided. Udelad.
That's again making words with O.
Yeah.
And an O in the beginning to make them.
Seems like it's all of them. Udla is to cultivate and grow.
Yeah.
Okay, that one's good.
But la is to lay down. So ud la.
Yeah. To cultivate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. To lay down the oud.
Yeah. And then you have oas, which is then oasis. Was.
Ooh. There's quite a few short words here. Ufta for often. Again, okay, I'm going to keep messing up the sounds then. All right. Well,
All right.
I need you on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. let's just
Should
move
we go
on.
and stand at the pole?
Yeah, we're getting to 4 hours and 20 minutes here. Dang. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. We can split this up into a couple parts, huh?
Yeah, as final product.
Yeah, cool. All right. Pole.
Pole. But
smiling about that pole.
Oh. Pole is something that's on, and then we have the le. The pole when you're on the smile. So when you sit on the pole, you start to smile.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, this one. I mean, this
And
one has a whole bunch of different. Pole. Yes. Already covered that earlier, I think. Just thinking that it's been over 4 hours that we've already been discussing this. It's well, that's kind of an aspect of this is disc. You know, you have disc, circle, uden, ring, discuss ring. Let's see. But pole, you know, this pa, ra, these, pa, pole, a pole, yeah. Our pa has a pa.
Fair, open.
When you've left the ringland, you're gone. So you're a pagan. You left the pole.
And you have to pay to be gone.
Yeah, Paul.
Wow.
We've already discussed this before, right? Paul, the chair, the footstool. I think we'll get into more of that kind of stuff, but more focused on the pole is this concept of the pole inside of a ring.
Or the pole makes the ring.
Right.
You have the pole in the middle, and then depends on what your key is.
You're absolutely right. Right. Correct. Good. Yes. Excellent.
That's also in this circle of ours, the pole is the eye in the middle. It defines the size of the ring.
Yes. Yes. Then we have pu in Finnish for tree.
Yeah.
Which is a pole.
Yeah, very much.
and pu would be just telling the meaning of whose pole or what kind of pole it is referring to in Von.
It's who is to speak. Who.
And it's pole with the actual letter, so it's P with the A with the ring above it. Pole.
Yeah.
Okay, which is the life flowing from the rivers, right? Of the pole.
Yeah. The sound itself is the pe, but the meaning is the pole.
Oh, pay. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, okay. So Ekins pole.
Yeah.
Got it.
Which is again logical wise
same.
the ox pole.
Yeah. Logic wise, I wasn't too far off, but but that's how you spell pole is with the A with the ring above it, LE. Right?
Pole. Yeah, pole.
Yeah. Okay.
Then you have Poland, the land of the pole.
Right. Which would be more referring to the actual North Pole.
Yeah, it would be when you
straight.
cross the pole.
Yeah. Okay. Next. I think maybe we've been spending a lot of time on each letter, but actually let's one more thing is we do have a one pole and a half ring.
Yeah.
And it hugs Uden.
It starts from Uden. Yeah.
And divides Quadrat and and connects to R, and also divides Thulin. And there's other ones that it connects to. I mean, it's slightly below F, huh?
Yeah, it's almost at the same line, but not completely.
Not completely.
The base is at the same line. They grow from the same point.
Yeah.
And then the E and the
ahead.
R starts also at the same point.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's put that pole. Let's see. Any other pole? Some other pole stuff we want to cover before we move on, or we're good?
We are already at Q, testing your IQ.
Yeah. Okay. IQ. Nice. Yes.
But quotient. IQ makes sense also because Q has also to do with knowledge of the ring.
Well, yeah, that one's quotient. Intelligence quotient, which means like yeah, I don't think I can even define it properly. Basically like a measurement. Yeah.
Where you measure the Q of the eye.
So this is one that I actually had come to a realization on in a show that with Mario Garza, and who's been really connecting a lot of symbolism back to the North, and not just the North, but also the North Star, and in this idea of the quadrants of the Earth being divided. So if you take you take the Udenma, or the ringland, and you draw the cross, and it divides where everything is south from this point, but all of the four corners of the world meet in the north. And so these are the four quadrants. And then you have the word quadrat, which I thought was very interesting, that you can take the line of the Q, and it's basically and it's representing quadrat, but more specifically the idea of this pole and all of these other LMNOPQ or LMNOP all combined to make this idea of quadrat or mathematics. And it really buttons up this little part of the rhyme quite nicely. Never thought of the Q as a sundial before, Bocksaga, but of course that makes complete sense. And it's also a very feminine symbol, which also makes sense. And and so maybe and in these in the root language and the Von language, you do find the letter Q, the sound Q, but you don't find the letter, the mark for it in the languages. But you do find the sound for it, and it pops up in quite a few places, and is more with a K sound. Ooh. So and it's clearly, look at that line pointing straight at K. So K Ku.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's cool. Yeah, it starts. The
Cool.
K starts from there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess I would have to look at K to kind of see a lot of these, and that also explains why K is such a huge letter. Has so many pages in the dictionary, because not all of them are K words. So some of them are Ku words, like just the word kur means like a Q, like to form a line, which doesn't make any sense because Q is a ring, not a line. But when you get in file, you form a Ku, a Q, a Q.
But
And in
a
English,
K, in root you say K. A Q is a K.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Thank you for the correct pronunciation. I'm not going to try to repeat it because I'll just screw it up again. And then you'll have to correct it again. Just like in the letter, in the word itself of Q, when you form a Q, the word is spelled Q-U-E-U-E. And that, again, as I mentioned earlier, you get all these words that are like clearly wrong spelling in English, but it's usually hinting at something, at this, something that is more, a much older word and concept and sound. As this letter, that word is 2 letters long, and in English it's 5 letters long. Kind of ridiculous. Yeah, so sounds like there's a lot of these K words that are actually Q words. So, and obviously in English, actually it'd probably be easier in English. This might be one of the few times I'll look at the English side of this, because looking at the English side, then I can see any K words that correlate. Qualitative, which is a very mathematical word. Qualitative, qualitative, qualified. That's another K word. Quack. Well, quack would be more like someone who's like a hat, like a like a professor who just says, "Oh, I'm a professor, so I know what I'm talking about," when he's actually full of shit. He's a quack.
That's
so,
what the
and
ducks
this would
say.
be
Quack, quack.
Yeah, and the ducks say quack, quack. So that's one. Where there's some that aren't really K words, but quantity, vantitet, quarantine. Quarantine is karantan. Whereas a Q word in English that is not a Q word in root would be quarrel.
Yeah. And one which is really when you say it's quarter, when you are dividing into 4s.
Quart.
Yeah.
Yes. So again, that's a quadrat, so yeah.
And quart is like a quarter of an hour.
Yeah, it's another dividing word for 4, which is same thing with quad.
Exactly.
Quad is 4.
Yeah, that also.
Whereas, I mean, see, there's a bunch of Q words in English that are not, that are unrelated to mathematics, and so they don't actually translate. But here's another one: quartz crystal. Quartz crystal.
Yeah, crystal. Crystal.
Yes, and then but there are some, like in like Swedish, they say drottning is queen.
Yeah.
Drottning, but you have Vina.
Yeah.
Kina. So, but that is queen, right? So that's a K word, but in the dictionary it won't say that like that, because we have a new definition of queen now as a king and queen. Whereas anyway, so cool. Cool. Anyway, anything else we want to speak on with
One thing, I don't know if we pointed it out, but in the root sound it's ku. So there is the ku and the ursprung, and the Finnish is the ku. So there is the ku and the u sound, which gives a little bit of meaning difference than the words. But still it's written in the same way in these both.
And like I was saying earlier too, about how mathematics isn't necessarily just numbers, you know, it's also talking about beginning and end, and like a quit, yeah. Like to quit something. That's also another K word, K spelling, I should say, not a K word, right? But it is spelled with a K. And often, just like we put K, or we put QU, it's often KV in root spelling, or Swedish spelling, I should say.
One typical word is also kvist, which is like a branch. It's normally written KV, but if you look older words, it's still written with a Q.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Here's an interesting one. A quote. Yeah. Like if you're quoting someone. So again, that, you know, you take that word mathematics, you got ma, you pull drinking tea, and over time, you know, and has something to do with time. So you have all these different things. Yeah.
Also in Saga, the moment of the Akka when she's gonna fall down, when she is at the moment when the sundial is pointing to a certain direction, and then she's lifting up her stick to show towards the sun so that everybody turns their vision towards the sun. And then she presses quit on him and she falls down.
Awesome. Yes. Okay. Yes. Shall we?
Let's go to Ra.
Rase, Bori. Okay. Well, I feel like we even covered a little bit of this, but we got Ra B. I mean, Ra is the king, right? Yeah. The Egyptian sun god, but it's the moon. The moon is the Ra, or representing the Ra, which is the race, and Ra is the sperm, is also representing the sperm. So when you want to raise a good race and race to make the race, you know, you're gonna need rain. You're gonna need a radius. A race. You're gonna need. You know what? I need to move away from my English side, because then I might make some confusions. But the Ra, a rabbit, right? They have a lot of offspring. A rabbit, a Rabi.
But in basics, the sound of the word is R, and that means is. Right. Yeah.
That means what?
R is. I am jag är. He is on R.
Okay. Okay.
And then you have the Ra.
Yeah. So and then one lifetime of the Ra would be an Ra.
Yeah. And then the Ra is then the R. So the R is the R.
Right.
And then again the Ra becomes the air, which in the air is the Ra, which is the power which is in the air then. And then we have this Rabi who comes around with the Ra power. Yeah.
Radio.
Radio. Yeah.
The raw call.
Radical.
Radical. The call.
The call to drink the Ra.
Ra. Yeah. Yeah. So again, it's represent. Look at that R's. I want to double check, see if I have the same angles in my R, because I had in my mind that it goes through the L. This is another one. Oh no, I have it in the same place. Perfect. Okay, the stars are aligned.
The Ra is aligned.
Yes, the Ra is aligned. And yeah, the Ra does make the line. The lean. It's interesting you have it placed into the
Yeah, but let's go more into detail when we come to the
Yeah. Then we got the main pole. So we got P pole with the Ra. Yeah, what you got? I don't know.
Well, there's a lot of talk about the Ra itself.
Right.
But that's maybe something that we should dive into directly.
Yes, agreed.
We have, because otherwise we'll be raping our rises.
Yeah, we do have rock.
Yeah, and then we have rap.
Yeah, rock and rocked, which is straight, erect, upright.
Yeah, rocked. Yeah. A rock is straight.
Yeah. E-rock.
Iran. Arian.
Yes. Well, and then rocket.
Yeah, rocket.
Yeah.
Rock and
roll. In English, we don't have that distinction. We keep the et and we just have rocket, and there's no straight, erect, whatever breakdown of that word rocket in English, but it is connected here. And then same thing with razor blade, which is interesting, or shaving, raka. Okay. Here's rapa, which means the burp.
Rapa. Yeah.
Huh. Rapa. All right.
And then we have rhythm when we come to the Y connections. Ry, rykka. There's a lot in Ra words.
Yeah, we can go into the other vowels when we get to that. But Ra. Okay.
Yeah. That's the Ers. Ers. Majestät.
All right, what you got for S?
Yes. I have sunshine.
Oh, also backwards is Ray.
Ray.
Ray. So backwards, R-E would be Ray. So it is the rays. It's the rays of the energy coming from the moon is from the sun. So Ray.
Yeah.
And
it repeats.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The moon repeats
Well,
the sun's, and that
but
creates
that's
the Ra.
re. Isn't that more re?
Yeah.
Re.
But
Yeah.
it's written rare, repeat.
Yeah.
It's all connected somehow.
S. Say S.
S.
Essay.
Essay.
We can write an essay about
S.
S.
Yeah. And it's
We
one.
have
It's
a lot to say.
Assa. As in one. S. Yeah. Sasi say so.
And Su Len. Nel. Nelus. Sulen.
But there again, we have Sul is the base form, and N is an additional form. So it's like Sul, sun, Sulen, the sun.
Right. And then also Len would be like smiling.
Yeah. It's Le is smile, and Len is then.
And I think of it, I think of this when the sun is smiling, it's just shining. Right?
Yes.
It's beaming, it's laying. So when and that's what it's doing on the moon to get, to make it a ray. Okay.
The day when we left in the axe head, which we found in Lemminkäinen temple, then in the NASA picture, there was picture when the sun was actually smiling. Like the sun eruptions created the smile mouth and the eyes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
That's on the axe head?
No, the days when we found the axe head.
Yeah. Yes. The soul league. The log. The log, the soul of the soul. Soul league. That's sunny.
And sow is the sow then. When you sow seeds, you sow.
You're in the league of the soul.
And then the su is in one, the mouth. The su le.
Oh, really?
When the sun is smiling, the su le.
And so that's mouth and von?
Su, yeah.
Wow, interesting. With an L?
No, just su, with a W.
Like Swami.
Yeah, but that's swa. That has an O in it. But so and so and swa. And swa again becomes marshland and swamp. But so.
You got solo.
Solo. You want to go solo?
No. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's the sun.
Okay. Next.
The sun is also like the snake is spinning around the sun.
I will have to wrap it up kind of soon. So so let's not speed through, but let's move on to the next one. This one's pretty straightforward. Soul, sun.
Yeah.
I think we get that. That's saga stuff.
We have the te, the T,
Tour.
the tour, and the T, the tour.
And backwards is the root.
Yeah, the tour and the root. Yeah. And it has an interesting position also, how it's positioned. And then also in this picture, we have the separation also. We have the big T, and then you can create the small T from it if you add the head.
Yeah, that's true. That's I was thinking about that earlier when we were
Yeah.
Looking at a different letter, you know. Oh, when you were mentioning how it's all capital, and I was like, they really are all capitalized letters. And I was like, so maybe even the T is actually capital, and then it's really the U, because without if that's also the T, the U is like basically like one line. But if we take the U as the top part of the T, so now the T is just uppercase, then the U has more of a position in the ring. Then,
but there is also like when you have the T like this, and if you make it a small T, then the line which is under the bottom, that becomes the male I, and the line at the top becomes the female I. The both the Thor's hammer and the clitoris. One goes down and one goes up.
Yeah, what you're saying about the positioning is very interesting. How it connects to the O and divides the board.
Yeah.
Borge, but also the Oster sit on top of it.
Yeah. And the Vanner also.
And the Vanner also. So this root is the key and the heart of, because Tor represents the heart.
Yeah.
The Taurus. The
Taurus.
Yeah.
And one point also in this upcase and small case, that when the Yggdrasil is that you pull the Y out. In this, when you pull from the T down, you will pull the Y out.
Whoa. Yeah. I haven't even considered all the outside letters as deeply yet. So that's great. Yeah, the Tor. There's Te. I mean, I think this Te concept of T is highly underrated in the Bocksaga. This one that's easily glossed over, like understood, but like glossed over by maybe people who aren't too, who wanna like critically look at the Bocksaga. And I think this one's way too easily overlooked on its importance of the role Te plays in the origin story of the human race, and just the concept of making tea in of itself is like the original gift of the sun to the human species, and we would not exist. Our language would not exist. Nothing, mathematique would not exist without tea, te,
and Finnish also te is to do. So you wouldn't do anything without the te.
Wow. See, yeah, that's awesome. It is, we have tempo.
Yeah. But that's your tempo. Temperature.
Yes. A tempo is like your pace, your speed.
Yeah, your tempo, yeah.
Tempo. But also it's tempo, right?
Tempo. That's a trick.
Tempo. It's a trick or a tree?
Trick or treat.
a tree or a trick.
And then we have the tree there also in the T.
So tempo. Temporary. Anyway, so that sound is very significant. I just wanted to state that for the record, of tea. And it's also the idea of extracting the mahla from these leaves. That is the brain fuel for the brain. And it is this idea of extracting the mahla from the sap that we get our ideas in the Bocksaga to extract from ourselves as well as a brain fuel. So it's, you know, that's all in there.
And then it also, when we have two.
How do you say theater?
Pair, huh?
How do you say theater?
Teatteri. Teatteri. A lot with teatteri.
All right.
Teatter.
They are there.
Teatter.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
And then also the number 2. Like we can say also in root 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we have 2 pair, 2 pair.
Yes. You start with 1, then you have 2, and you make the 3rd. You make the now you have a family tree. 3.
Yeah.
Now you have the family 3. Wow. Yeah. Okay. And that's Tay. And then tour is a huge idea. Which still kind of lives a little bit, quite a bit in many words, especially occupational words, doctor, actor, character. But you can go on tour.
Vector and
Tour's hammer. So this concept of tour is huge concept.
Let's dive that into deeper.
Yeah. Okay.
Buenos. Next one.
Yes. Ursprung.
It's like almost you throw up, but no.
It's like ooh, but you make a U.
Yeah, it's like ooh, like the sound happens quite low here in the mouth, like ooh. Yes.
So Ursprung. Origin is the literal translation, but you've made it this far.
It's the hole on the hell.
Yeah, if you've made it this far in the recording, then you've probably already heard me express how this is my favorite word multiple times in the past. But is the face of a clock.
Yeah.
Sprung is like spring to come from. So origin.
It's sprung.
Gene. Where the genes originate. Urgene. Yeah. Urgene. So we have a little sound change with the O in front of origin, but that also kind of works. Origin or that would be like more like the river.
Yeah, but here in this drawing, you see that the U comes from the river also.
Boom. You're right. Absolutely. That's where, that's where we start the U as well, and then it goes across, and again dividing into the Castle, Oster, and Vonner. So connecting to all of those as well. And then the other one, knowledge and more ooh or oh or oh and some Mooney there. So yeah. Again, it feels more again like you have all the different concepts of nature, of people, and this self-evident nature of all of the meanings all at once colliding and being connected into this one sound.
Well, everything comes from there, so
Yes, and you know, there's isn't that like, isn't a civilization at some point?
That's a city in Mesopotamia or
Yeah,
Babylon on
yeah.
this. They have Ur and they have Uruk. And this
Yes. All right.
Marians.
Um,
And then one other root word is ut, which means outside. Like when something comes out of Ur, it comes ut. Out.
or earn.
Earn. Yeah.
Like
That's why you return then.
Yes.
Ur.
Back into the ground.
Yeah. So that's when
The
you put back.
knowledge.
First you have the Ur, then you have the ut, and then you have the Urn.
Well, and specifically it's urna. So it's the knowledge of this clock, of the cycle, the life and death, birth and death and birth, and et cetera, breed in, breed out. Okay, great.
Yeah, that's quite nice.
Yes. Even just as the two letter, just the UR, is, yes, it's watch and clock, but it's also from. So you can use it as a preposition, like out of, or from, coming from. So, which is interesting that that meaning is still in the word, even in modern day. Okay. Van. The van. The van.
The van air.
The van. The one heir to the Osser. Yeah. Yeah. The vanguard.
Yes.
I don't have too much to say on this one.
If we would play with Finnish sound, we would have a lot with van.
You didn't draw the lines really of the V.
Like these lines weren't fully connected to all lines. They're not. There's no intersecting lines, which is directly connected. So I became a little bit question about this, of how to place it. So I took the lines which comes from the points to try to find where they connect.
I think I did, but maybe not. It's hard to tell.
That's a little bit tricky one.
On mine, it goes right through the middle of Q. And the other one goes through the center of the whole ring and connects to E, the base of E, the I. So, yeah, mine, it connects to the A and E.
Yeah.
Through the middle of the ring, of the whole entire ring, and then the other one goes through the middle of Q ring.
Okay.
In the V. Great.
Yes,
these are the Vonner. This is the one. The Von means one.
Yes.
And these are the one people. Yeah.
Like everybody outside of the Aser family becomes the Vanner.
Von, practiced, experienced, trained, skilled, expert, accustomed.
That's when you're Van with something. You're.
Yeah, you're one with your.
Yeah.
Skill set or whatever. Yeah. Von. Interesting.
Like Vana is a habit or an experience also.
Yeah, usual, accustomed, habitual.
And then it's connected to win. Ja won, I've won.
Okay. All right. So all our V words, we got lots of V words. And maybe when you put a K in front of it, it's not so much a V word anymore. It's kind of used in Q. There's not a lot of good V words that I'm seeing. There's some shorter ones which we can get into when we get to V. But VA, almost all of the V words are. Okay, go ahead.
VI is then we, like
right.
It just becomes English with the WE.
Yeah, a lot, tons and tons of these V words turn into W words in English. Many of them. And I'll say the English side ones that I can see. Let's see. So some V words that are English W words. Let's see. Now they're not. Now I don't see any. Oh, whisper. Whisk, whip. So you would hear them as visp, viska, whisper, viskning, whisper. White,
wheat,
the color. Wheat, yes, wheat. The
wheat,
grass,
vete.
yes.
Yeah.
Witness. Looks like winning. Winning.
Enough.
Like gaining. Yeah, vinst. Like profit. Wing.
Wing.
Like a wing of a bird. Willingness. Like view. Like my last name, Wilson. View. Son of view. Yeah, wild. Yeah, so tons of W words in English are V words, and then there's many V words that are not W words that are actually just V words in English. So anyway, and it must have something to do with the Vonner in most of the or not.
But when we jump into W, like we have completely different connection scheme.
Yeah.
Like everything is
W. Yeah, I think maybe we can skip W.
Yeah, well, maybe we end this word with the W.
Okay. Yeah, let's not do the outside letters. Let's not do any general outside letters yet. We can just do those when we get to them.
Yeah.
We just passed 5 hours. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we have our win-win situation now.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna
you
wings.
have to see the wine, the Finland.
Yes, big.
Another origin story.
Yes, and the Vonner people are specifically the 6 ringlands around Udenma. Yeah. So you have the six ringlands, and those are containing the Vonner people, and it is from these ringlands that more ringlands fractal out and continue to multiply until outward systematically till it's a bigger until the whole ball was covered, like a soccer ball or something, or a football. Whatever everyone calls it anymore. Okay, yeah, and so the W. Yeah. What do you want to say about it?
I just find this W interesting in the terms of the world and the wide and everything being in a web. Like it's a connecting thing.
It really is. And so what's interesting about the sound, since we're going to talk about W, is it doesn't make a sound.
Yeah.
You have to, like B, I can go B,
Mm.
B, 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 and I'm not saying any vowels with that sound. F.
Yeah.
W.
Yeah, but in root we call it W, so you have but it's not the same.
It's not the same, and but yeah, so in all the languages that use it, there is no actual sound. So until you connect it to a vowel, so it's almost like it's accenting the vowels that are either before or after it. So if I wanted to actually say what's W sound like? Well, it sounds like w or w or we, w, 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 you know, I'm saying ah, wow, wow, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm saying oh, I'm not saying W, even though I'm incorporating. It's like an inflection. It's a movement of the mouth that changes the sound of a vowel. You'll never have like in your words in English that start with W. I mean, again, we have to like go to all these other languages. It's not root, so that would just be kind of confusing to say much more on. But you know, writing, wrath, whatever. These are starting with an R, not a W. Yeah. So, but it is representing, you know, basically the idea of men and women living separate and together, and that the trident, you know, the trident symbol, and
Very much.
Wow.
Wow.
Man, I had shitty weather today, so I'm not like too sad I missed it.
Yeah, I have midnight darkness already.
Okay. All right. Well, that was great. That was fun. Good intro. That was
deep.
That was. I think I learned a little bit, but I think we're really going to learn a lot when we get into the sound system aspect, exploring. And are we going to start with A? Or we're going to go back to E?
Continue from where we left off in the next chapter.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, let me know your next availability. You know mine. We can get it done, and maybe
say good night to this recording, and